A first-of-its-kind festival in the city of Winnipeg will be sharing the art of the radio play on the stage at the Gargoyle Theatre later on this week. The Audi Arts Festival will share original works in this well-loved art form created by local playwrights over the course of 3 days. Linda Olson is the producer of the Audi Arts Festival and joins us now in the Classic 107 studios. Nice to see you.
Oh, nice to be here.
Thanks so much for taking the time. So I want to go back to that first moment when you first encountered radio plays. What was that experience like for you?
Well, I was living in the Arctic, and it was dark, in the winter, and all we had was CBC Radio, which, shout out for CBC Radio too, and they had radio plays on, and I recognized them from what my grandmother had told me about radio plays when they first got radio. Half a century earlier. That she said that's when they had them. And then they were playing them, in the Arctic. Maybe they're still playing them in the Arctic. I don't know. And it was like all mostly scary ones, the Shadow, the Hermit, like it was just spellbinding, It was just unbelievable.
So what does for those who haven't maybe had the pleasure of experiencing this before, what does a purely audio experience, something that isn't acted on the stage in front of you, something that is purely something that you enjoy with the ears, what does that experience like to enhance a drama? Well,
you use your imagination, which can run anywhere,
Yeah.
and what I listened to them originally in a group, and everybody sort of had their own take on it, but we also sort of fed off each other as, it gives you that extra little bit of your own input, because different things scare different people, and these were scary ones. People have their own history and how it fits into the history, and it was just magic. It was totally magic.
So this magic that's going to take place on the stage at the Gargoyle Theatre, we'll come back to the idea of sharing these in a live format in just a second, but a lot of these works are written by local theater professionals, people who have maybe not done anything in this medium before. What sorts of unique challenges faces someone who wants to create their own radio play, especially in 2025?
Well, I'm not the artist, so they would know that. But these are actually fringe plays redone for radio, and when I see a play on stage, I usually close my eyes and say, "Could this be a radio play?" And about 50% of them can.
Wow.
And some things have to be changed, like on stage, somebody walks in, you'd have to say, oh, and acknowledge them coming in. But it's not difficult for some plays. It's if they've got multimedia or dance or anything, of course they can't do it. Improv can't do it.
Yeah.
But most of them can. And one of the plays that's on our Sunday matinee play, Emergency Ops, I went to all the Fringe Festival plays last summer, and that were local, which I mean Manitoba local.
Right.
And original, and I sat through them with my eyes shut. And quite a few of them were could easily be changed. And I did approach Hayden Maines with his, because he's got a good stage presence too, and his was very doable. He's playing 5 different characters, and you could easily distinguish those 5 characters with your eyes shut.
Okay.
So that's
that's an example of what you're talking about here, which is that so much of this drama that exists on the stage at a place like the Winnipeg Fringe Festival can then also be quite easily adapted. And maybe not to have you speak to that what that adaptation process looks like, but what were the reactions of these fringe creators when maybe they were approached with this idea about the about the challenge or about the task of turning their fringe creation into a radio play?
They were up for it. But one of our Saturday evening one is by the old Elmwood Radio Theatre.
Oh.
So they do radio plays, and they are, they're more experienced, I would say.
Sure.
But so they have loved that.
Okay. So there's one example of something that people can see at the Audi Arts Festival this coming weekend. Without giving too much away, what else can audiences expect to experience?
Well, our Friday night show is Fifth Date, which was also a fringe play by Andrew Davidson. Mm-hmm. And it's a serious, thought-provoking play. And I didn't want it to be all, funny ones. I wanted as much variety as possible. Mm-hmm. And this really gives you something to go home and think about.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think there's any laughs in it, but it's pretty thought-provoking.
But to show off that wide range of things.
Well, it's just 3 plays. You're limited.
Sure.
But as much as possible, and I'm really satisfied with the way it's configured.
Okay. How do you anticipate that these 3 productions will intersect with the audience that's coming to see them? In other words, there's going to be people who have never interacted with drama in this way before. How do you, maybe even anticipate's not even the right word, how do you hope that an audience will receive these works and the intersection between this medium that goes back decades to a 21st century sensibility of how we experience entertainment, how we experience culture?
Yeah. Well, after each performance is going to be a talkback. And the first part of it is going to be the audience can ask the performers, all kinds of questions if they're interested. How did you modify? How did you do this or that? And the second part is going to be about the festival itself, because this is a pilot project. And I need feedback to see what people want. Are they interested? Would they come to these kind of shows? To let it go forward, it has to have community input.
Sure.
And I just want them to be there and just ask questions, make suggestions. That's my part of it. To see what this can be in the coming years. What do you, let's maybe fast forward to the Audi Arts Festival 2030. All right, good, got it.
What do you hope that this festival is?
I hope it is a festival. I'm roughly thinking about the Fringe Festival, which started in Edinburgh, few people, big idea, and it's halfway around the world.
Yeah,
I can see that happening here. And this is a Manitoba that I think, but there could be Audi Arts Festival Berlin. It could be Audi Arts Festival London. It could be anywhere. It really could.
Yeah.
And people can do it from all over the world.
Yeah.
So, and I don't say it would be 10 days like the Fringe, because this is a smaller genre within that, but 3-day festival. And to have the venues anywhere.
Right.
Like say it's going to be a 3-day festival in October. And, in the Fringe has venues around Winnipeg. This festival could have venues anywhere. In Manitoba, because they could have a play put on in Churchill,
right,
and entertain that community, but also have it recorded and go out to other people, and especially people in northern areas, outlying areas. They don't get that many opportunities, and that's who I had in mind. I mean, I spent a lot of time in isolated, areas, fly-in communities, and I see how much talent's there, especially little kids. Holy, they're unbelievable, and they will put on plays, they will entertain the community, but it doesn't go anywhere.
Right.
And if it doesn't go anywhere, they might not pursue it.
Sure.
So
it's interesting to hear you draw on that experience when you yourself were young in the Arctic experiencing these radio dramas. And
I was an adult.
well,
Yeah,
but it, like in those younger,
yeah.
impressionable years,
Yeah,
and to be able to then see what, or hear, I guess in this case,
Yeah.
what that impact can be. Incredibly exciting stuff to be
yeah.
able to dive into this new, but also old venture. Really wonderful. This is taking place October the 24th to the 26th at the Gargoyle Theatre on Ellis Avenue. We'll have more information about where to get your tickets at our website later on today, classic107.com, and on the Classic 107 app. Linda Olson, this is so exciting to hear about, and all the best for this weekend's events.
Thank you. Thank you so much.